Have you ever walked into a room and felt the whole vibe shift before you even said a word or took a seat? Nobody turned to look, nobody called your name. But still, something changed. The room got quieter, the air felt heavier. People sat up straighter without realizing. Some got nervous, others just stared. Welcome to time-tested advice, where ancient philosophy meets the modern world. I'm your host, Alfred. Let's get started. That wasn't your imagination. That was your aura, your energy arriving before you did. It spoke before you opened your mouth. It sent a silent but powerful message. I'm not here to blend in. I'm here to be seen. I'm here to be felt. Carl Jung once said, "The psyche transcends the body," which means you're more than just your physical self, your energy, your presence. And when that energy is strong, clear, and aligned with your truth, you don't just walk into a room, you shift it. You wake it up. You make people feel things they weren't ready to feel. This kind of power isn't loud or aggressive. It's quiet, but real. So real that anything fake around you starts to fall apart. In this video, we'll talk about 15 signs that show your energy isn't average. It's electric, it's disruptive, it's deeply spiritual. So if you've ever felt out of place or like people act strangely around you for no reason, this is your confirmation. You weren't made to fit in. You were made to shift rooms. If this message speaks to something inside you, if it reminds you of who you are deep down, click subscribe and tap the bell. This space is for people like you, ready to grow, heal, and stand strong. Let's begin. Your silence speaks volumes. Ever walked into a room and felt people look your way without a word? Not because of your clothes or status, but because of something deeper. That's presence. When your energy is strong and real, people notice without you saying a thing. Your silence carries weight. Your calmness is louder than noise. You don't seek approval, yet people feel drawn in, curious, even uneasy. And the funny thing is, they won't remember your name, but they'll remember how your presence made them feel. Why does this happen? Because your energy steps into the room before your body does. It doesn't ask for permission. It just shows up, real and honest. And in a world full of pretending, that's unforgettable. Real presence isn't about being loud. It's about being clear in who you are. When your energy is aligned, your silence becomes a mirror, reflecting truth and authenticity. That's the kind of presence that can't be ignored. You make people face themselves. Ever noticed how some people love being around you while others seem uncomfortable, even when you haven't said much? Here's the truth. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just being real. And in a world where most people wear masks, your realness shakes them up. Your presence becomes a mirror, and it shows them parts of themselves they've been avoiding. They see your confidence and feel their own self-doubt. They see your truth and feel the lies they've been living. You're not trying to trigger them, but your energy does, because it's too honest, too clean, too awake. Carl Jung called this the shadow, the parts of ourselves we hide or reject. And just by being yourself, you bring those shadows to light. You don't even try, you just show up as your healed, honest self. And those who haven't done the work feel the difference. That's when they start judging, gossiping, or pulling away. But that's not your fault. You're not here to make people comfortable. You're here to be whole. Their discomfort is just a sign that your light touched something they've buried. So don't dim your glow. You didn't trigger them. You just reminded them of what they haven't faced yet. Your job isn't to protect people from their shadows. It's to be real and show that healing is possible. Nature trusts. Have you ever noticed how animals, children, or even the wind seem to respond to you differently? A cat curls up next to you. A child you don't know waves or smiles. The breeze feels softer as you walk. That's not just coincidence, that's energy. Animals and kids don't care about your looks, your job, or your social media following. They don't care what you say. They feel who you are. They sense whether your energy is peaceful or messy. And when you're grounded, calm, and real, they trust you without question. Animals don't fake anything. Kids don't overthink. Nature doesn't lie. These pure parts of the world align with those who carry stillness and honesty. That's why your presence feels safe. You're not performing. You're not forcing anything. You're just being. And being real is rare. That's why the world's most natural parts, kids, animals, trees, feel at home around you. In a noisy world full of pretending, your energy is a breath of fresh air. That's power. Not the kind that seeks control, but the kind that brings peace. So next time a dog curls up beside you or a child stares in wonder, know this: your soul is speaking louder than any words ever could. You intimidate without saying a word. You don't walk in to prove anything. You don't try to impress. You just enter with calm confidence. And suddenly the room changes. People shift in their seats. They laugh too loud or talk too much. And you can feel it. They're unsettled. Why? Because in a world that rewards loudness and show-offs, your quiet confidence stands out. You're not trying to intimidate. You just don't hide. And that alone makes people nervous. Your presence shows people what real looks like. And when someone is pretending, your energy exposes it without a single word. You're not judging anyone. You're not attacking. But your peace feels like pressure to those who haven't made peace with themselves. You've done the work. You've faced your pain. You walk in truth. And for people who are still hiding from theirs, that's too much. But you're not the villain. You're just the mirror. They feel seen in ways they didn't expect. And while that may feel scary for them, it also offers them a chance to grow. So don't hold back. Don't soften your presence to make others comfortable. The right ones won't fear your power. They'll be inspired by it. Your energy changes the whole room. You don't even try. You just walk in and everything shifts. People pause, some go quiet, others get clumsy with their words. You don't say a thing, but the energy responds. Why? Because it's not you speaking, it's your energy field. You don't need to dominate or charm anyone. Your power doesn't come from effort, it comes from alignment. You've worked on yourself, you know who you are, and that truth moves through you. Your energy speaks before you do. It wakes people up. It shakes the air around you. Some people feel safe in it, others feel exposed. Either way, it leaves an impact. You carry something ancient, something wise. It's not just your presence, it's your soul talking. It reminds people of things they forgot: purpose, truth, peace, power. So if people react strongly to you, stare, fumble, or shift, just know, it's not that you're doing too much. It's that you're being something real in a world full of fake. You don't walk into rooms to disturb them. You reveal what's already there. You lift the energy. You bring truth to the surface. And that's not a skill, it's your nature. You understand people without them speaking. You walk into a room and something just feels off. No one says anything bad. Everyone's smiling. Things look fine. But deep down, you feel a shift. There's tension in the air, even if everyone's pretending to be okay. Someone's words and energy just don't match. You're not imagining things. You're not being dramatic. You're simply tuned in. You don't wait for people to explain what's wrong, you already feel it. The nervous smile, the uneasy body language, the quick change in tone, you catch all of it without effort. Carl Jung called this symbolic perception, a deep kind of knowing that senses energy before it hears words. It's like speaking a quiet language made of feelings, expressions, and vibes. Once you've learned to hear it, you can't ignore it. This isn't magic. It's the result of doing your own emotional work. When your own energy is clean and grounded, your awareness gets sharper. You start to feel people's emotions, not from what they say, but from what they hold inside. You feel the sadness behind a smile. You hear the jealousy behind praise. You sense the pain behind, "I'm fine." This kind of awareness sets you apart. You struggle with small talk and fake smiles. You want realness, depth, truth. Shallow conversations leave you restless. Some might call you too much or too intense. But really, you're just being honest on an energy level. And that's rare. While others listen to words, you hear what's underneath. You don't just read people. You understand them, often more than they understand themselves. Small talk wears you out. You smile, you nod, you say the usual, "Yeah, the weather's been wild." But inside you feel drained. It's not because you dislike people, it's not because you're shy, it's because these surface-level chats feel empty. Talking about office gossip or celebrity news doesn't do it for you. It feels like your energy is leaking out. You weren't built for fake interest. Your spirit needs conversations that matter. You want to talk about people's dreams, fears, what moves them, what hurts them. You want real connection, not casual chatter. You don't care to talk about people. You want to talk to people. You want to know what lights them up, what keeps them awake at night, what makes them feel alive. Your energy asks for presence. And in a world full of rushed, thoughtless interactions, you were meant to slow things down, to feel, to connect, to go deeper. That's why small talk feels like noise. It's not just boring, it's painful. It makes you feel distant and disconnected because your body knows it's meaningless. You want conversations that go below the surface. That's where you feel alive. That's when your energy expands. Not everyone understands this. Some may say you're too serious or hard to talk to. But those who are awake, they see your depth. They feel it. And when you meet someone who speaks that same soul language, talking to them feels like coming home. You're not antisocial. You're just allergic to fake energy. You weren't made to blend into the background. You were made to bring truth to the surface. People put their hidden pain on you. Your presence isn't loud. You don't walk into rooms trying to impress anyone. But when you arrive, something changes. People start acting differently. They shift, go quiet, maybe even get defensive, and you're left wondering what you did wrong. Truth is, you didn't do anything. You didn't say anything hurtful. You didn't cross any lines. But your energy, your clarity, your calm, it touches parts of people they've tried to hide. Some people aren't ready to face their own pain, and when you show up with truth, it reflects their lies. Your light reveals their shadows, and that makes them uncomfortable, so they react. They might act cold, throw out a fake compliment, suddenly doubt your intentions, even turn their admiration into resentment. Not because you hurt them, but because you remind them of the truth they're not ready to deal with. You don't play games, you don't wear masks. And that honesty, just your being, it challenges people who do. They feel seen by you, and that scares them. Some will walk away, others will get close, then pull back when they realize you won't shrink to make them feel better. but don't let it make you question yourself. You're not responsible for their discomfort. You're only responsible for staying honest and true to who you are. Remember, the brighter you shine, the more shadows get revealed. And you weren't meant to dim your light just to make others feel better in their darkness. You're here to wake them up, even if that means they walk away before they're ready to rise. Your silence says everything. You don't need to speak over others. You don't need to fight to be heard. You've learned the power of silence, and now you carry it with you like armor. Your silence isn't weak, it's not empty. It speaks louder than most people's shouting. It says, I don't need to prove myself. I don't need to perform. It shows that you're grounded, sure of yourself, calm. This calm presence makes people nervous. Most people talk out of fear. They get loud to hide their insecurities. They fill quiet moments because silence makes them face themselves. But you're different. You've made peace with quiet. In fact, you are the quiet. Your silence challenges others. It makes them reflect. And that's powerful. Some may think you're cold or distant, but really, you're just operating on a different level, one where energy speaks louder than words. Your presence speaks before you say a word. Your silence already changed the room. You don't need to be the loudest. You've already become the strongest presence. So keep choosing silence, not because you're afraid, but because you've mastered it. And when your quiet is full of truth, even the noisiest people go quiet around you. You naturally attract the real and push away the fake people. Either feel drawn to you or uncomfortable around you. There's no in-between. And the interesting part, you're not even trying. You're just being yourself, honest, real, unfiltered. And that's what makes your energy so strong. It filters people out. The ones who are ready for truth, who've stopped pretending, feel safe around you. They feel seen in ways they didn't expect. Your presence makes them feel accepted, without masks. But others feel exposed, nervous, off balance, because you see through their act, and you don't play along. Your energy quietly says, I see who you really are. You don't have to call them out. Your presence already did. You don't yell, you don't chase. You simply don't match fake energy, and that makes it uncomfortable for people who live in it. So some will pull away, unsure why. Their soul just knows. It can't hide here. Others will come close and feel like they've finally found someone real. This is your gift, your inner radar, your built-in shield. It saves you from drama and draws in the ones who are ready to go deep. If someone suddenly pulls away without explanation, let them. That's not rejection. That's your energy doing its job. You're not here to be liked by everyone. You're here to be found by the ones who truly get you. You carry the calm of a warrior. You don't need to show off. You don't need to speak loudly or try to prove anything. Just the way you sit in quiet confidence says more than someone shouting for attention. Your calm isn't weakness. It's not the peace of someone who's never faced pain. It's the calm of someone who's lived through heavy storms and came out stronger. You've been through things that could have broken you, but instead, they shaped you. You've faced dark times when even breathing felt heavy. You've sat with your pain, not to escape, but to learn from it. That's why your presence feels solid. People feel different when you're around. Some feel comforted, others feel unsettled. You don't have to prove your strength because it's already in you. You've met your fears, your struggles, your truth, and you didn't run away. You've fought battles within yourself, and now your peace is the result. People notice that. Some admire it. They see something deep in your eyes and think, They've been through something. They feel safer around you. They listen when you speak. Your words matter. But others, well, they might feel nervous. They're used to loud, fake power. They don't know what to do with someone who's quiet and steady, yet unshakably strong. But no one forgets you. Because this kind of calm, it's not common, it's earned. So never think being gentle makes you weak. Holding back is strength. Stillness is wisdom. Your peace didn't come easy. It came from every fight you faced, every moment you grew in silence. You don't need a weapon. You are the weapon. Shaped by pain, polished by truth, and steady in your own skin. Your calm doesn't mean there's no fight. It means the fight made you stronger, and now you no longer need to prove who you are. You heal without trying. You don't need to say the perfect thing. You don't need a title or a special role. Just being you helps people feel safe, seen, and more like themselves. And the amazing part is, you're not even trying. Your energy speaks for you. It tells people, you don't have to pretend here. You can relax. You're safe. Most people carry silent pain. They hide their struggles behind smiles. But when they're near you, something inside them lets go. Their guard softens. The act starts to fade. For the first time in a long time, they feel like they can just be real. That's your gift. It's not just in your words, it's in your presence. You carry a calm, honest energy that touches people in ways talking can't. But here's the deeper part. You don't just comfort people, you wake them up. You help them feel safe, yes, but you also help them feel truly seen. And when that happens, the truth starts to surface. The lies they've told themselves stop working. Their old pain starts to rise. And that can be scary, because while your energy helps people feel calm, it also brings hidden emotions into the light. You don't try to change them, but being around you makes them think, reflect, and see more clearly. Some will be thankful, others may pull away, but no one leaves the same. Healing isn't always soft. It can feel like breaking open, and your presence has a quiet way of doing that. So don't overlook your impact. You weren't meant to fix everyone. You're here to help them remember their strength. Just by being yourself, you help others reconnect with who they really are. That's the most powerful healing of all. You were born to expose. What's fake? You've probably noticed it for a long time, that strange, tense feeling when you're around fake people, the small talk, the fake smiles, the forced energy. And deep down, you always knew you didn't belong in that kind of space. Not because something's wrong with you, but because you were never meant to blend in. You were meant to be real in a world full of pretend. You weren't made to stay quiet when something feels wrong. You weren't meant to shrink to make others comfortable. You came into this world to wake people up, to challenge fake systems, to bring truth into the light, even if that means being the storm that others didn't expect. Your energy doesn't just shine, it shakes things up. You may enter quietly, but your presence shifts the whole mood of a room. Not because you're trying to, but because being real automatically shows what's fake. That's why some people are drawn to you right away, and others avoid you without knowing why. Your energy reveals things. It makes those hiding behind masks feel seen. It makes the lies feel less safe. You're different, and that difference is powerful. You bring truth into rooms built on pretending. You don't have to say much. Just being you makes others rethink themselves. You remind people of what's real, and that can be scary for anyone hiding from their truth. You weren't born to stay quiet. You were born to transform. And transformation doesn't come from small talk. It comes from shaking things up. Your energy doesn't let people stay asleep. It doesn't play along. It speaks truth by simply existing. So don't water yourself down. Don't dim your fire. You are meant to shake the fake and make space for the real. Every time your energy touches a lie, truth gets stronger, and the world needs more of that. More of you. It says, Nos I, main Choloton, you don't need long talks to understand someone. You don't need to hear their whole story to feel their truth or their lies. Sometimes you sit next to a person and just know. Their energy speaks before they do. Their silence either feels peaceful or heavy. And while others might miss those clues, you never do. You've learned that truth doesn't always come through words. It shows up in the pauses, in the way someone avoids eye contact, in the way their smile doesn't quite reach their eyes. And you've grown so in tune with these silent signals that lies can't hide from you, even when they're dressed up in charm. This can feel like a gift and a curse. Because once you start hearing the quiet truth behind people's actions, it's hard to pretend you don't. You feel what they're not saying. You notice when someone's words don't match their energy. You catch the sadness behind the laughter, the fear behind the anger, the emptiness behind the ego. But instead of calling it out, you sit with it. You hold space, because you understand that everyone is carrying something. And while others might miss the real story, you read it clearly, because your heart doesn't just listen to sound. It listens to soul. This ability to feel the truth behind the silence is not weakness, it's wisdom. In a noisy world full of talkers, you are a rare listener. And sometimes the deepest truths are only spoken in the quiet. Your growth makes others uncomfortable. You've changed, you've grown, you've done the inner work people avoid for years. And while that journey has brought you peace, not everyone is cheering for your evolution. In fact, some are uncomfortable with it, even if they won't say it out loud. Because growth changes relationships. Growth reveals who was truly there for you and who was only there when you stayed small. Some people liked the older version of you better, the one who didn't have boundaries, the one who doubted their worth, the one who made themselves smaller so others could feel big. But now, you don't bend like that anymore. You say no when something doesn't feel right. You speak up when your truth needs a voice, and you walk away from what no longer fits your spirit. That kind of strength scares people who haven't faced themselves yet. So they pull back, they gossip, they say, "You've changed," like it's a bad thing. But what they really mean is, "You grew beyond what I'm comfortable with." And that's not your problem. That's their reflection to face. Your growth may cost you company, but it will never cost you your peace. The ones who are meant for you will never fear your evolution. They'll rise with you, and if they can't, let them go. Because outgrowing people is part of healing. It's not pride, it's progress. So keep expanding, keep evolving. Don't shrink just to keep people close, because your light deserves space. And the right people will never ask you to dim it. If this message felt personal, it's because it is. It's a reflection. You were meant to see this. You've always felt different, too deep, too emotional, too raw. But that's not a problem. That's your mission. You weren't made to fade into the background. You were made to shine, to awaken, to stir things up, and to help the world face what it keeps running from. So stop saying sorry for being who you are. Stop editing yourself to make others comfortable. Let them stare. Let them misunderstand. That's their lesson to learn. But promise yourself this: never shrink to protect someone else's shadows. Your energy was never meant to be small. It was meant to be powerful, clear, and felt. If these words touched your heart, comment below a "You are a." Thanks for watching till the end. Your support truly means the world to me. Together, we will forge a path of nothing but peace and happiness. This has been your host, Alfred. I'll see you in the next one. Same time tomorrow. Until next time.